G'day viewers, Jason, Joondalup Electrical Services. Although I'm not in Joondalup at the moment, I'm in Newcastle in New South Wales for my son's sport. But I thought I would take this opportunity while I'm sitting in this car park waiting for my son to come out of the gym to give you an update on the West Australian subsidy and what my stance is on both the state subsidy and the federal subsidy. So basically the WA subsidy I have chosen not to be a participant of. I believe the pain isn't worth the gain, both for me as a supplier and for my clients. So that is essentially my decision making on that one. I'll go into a little bit more detail in a minute. The federal subsidy, and this video is basically for, I have a list of clients waiting for me to supply batteries, and you've all been very patient and I appreciate that. I'm very time poor. I'm not in WA at the moment. I'm not even working. I'm living out of my van doing my son's sport with him at the moment. And that takes up a lot of my time, and that is my focus, as a lot of my regular viewers know. So I appreciate your patience with me. The WA subsidy, not going to be a part of it, don't want to be a part of it. The pain's not worth the gain. It's going to cost me a lot of money, and you guys aren't going to benefit from it that much either. Now the federal subsidy, different story. That's quite a generous subsidy, and there is no curveballs on that one or special caveats with it. So I will still be participating in that. That one for say a 32 kilowatt hour battery system is going to be worth around 11 grand in round figures. That can vary because the STCs that we claim for the subsidy is a commodity and they do vary in value. Right, so that is me in a nutshell, what I'm doing. And when I say that's me in a nutshell, I can't help but think of the Austin Powers movie when he's like, this is me in a nutshell, trying to push a bad joke. I'll carry on. Okay, so the WA subsidy is, so I've given you the gist of it. If you don't want to listen to me dribble, you can tune out now. The WA subsidy was originally $5,000. It was then reduced to $1,300, and to be a part of that subsidy you also need to sign up to a VPP, or virtual power plant program, for 2 years. What does that mean? That means that Synergy can take control of your battery for up to 30 times per year for events. Now the events are what may be situations, and I get it, this is all good. I'm digressing again. The whole purpose of the VPP is to make our network more stable so that we don't have massive power outages like what South Australia had, what Spain have had, through having too much solar on the grid, which then in extreme situations, if there's that much solar penetration and then there's not enough load on the generators actually disconnect from the grid and you have massive blackouts. That's definitely not good, especially for us in WA where we've only typically got the one network. A bit different for other states on the east coast where they can switch between states and so forth. But for us on WA, that's really important to have a stable network. So I get it. I understand why they want you to be part of a VPP and they're going to pay you for that. But I don't think many of my clients are going to want that. The financial benefit is really quite minimal. And, you know, most people I know don't want the government to have any of their power. I get that a lot. You know, I don't want to export any power to the grid. I don't want them having any of it. They give me bugger all for it. I don't want them to have it. So, and for me to be part of that WA subsidy, it's going to cost me a lot of money. It's going to cost me a lot of time in admin, and I don't need the headaches. So I don't think it's worth it. The VPP program you have to be part of for 2 years, so it's not for the full period, it's just for the 2 years. It's not the life of the battery. Now, in saying that, the federal subsidy, now you can claim that one quite simply. We process that the same way we do the solar subsidy for the solar panels. So it's really quite straightforward. There is no requirement to be part of a virtual power plant program, VPP, but it does need to be VPP capable if you are grid connected. Obviously that's not the case for off-grid. It does not need to be VPP capable. So that's awesome. You can actually claim the subsidy for off-grid as well. That'll benefit my clients a lot because I do a lot of off-grid stuff. The products have to be on the Clean Energy Council approved list to be able to claim that subsidy. That's fairly standard. And there's a few other sort of regular sort of caveats, but nothing exceptional to which is, you know, normal to the products that we use. It's all fairly straightforward. So that is my situation. That is the way I will be going forward. The federal subsidy will run for 5 years. It will be slowly reducing, the same as it does for the solar panels. So every year the amount of STCs, or small scale technology certificates, you can claim will slightly reduce. I also believe there is $2.3 billion allocated to the Cheaper Home Batteries program, the federal one. And once that has run out, I'm not quite sure. They might pull the plug on it, but I don't think that will be the case. But there is no guarantee that it will run for 5 years, or at least that's my understanding anyway. So all the people that I've told you I will get back to you, which was mostly my existing clients. A lot of you have showed interest in getting a battery for sure. So I will probably share a link to this video to you instead of me calling each and every one of you and explaining it. That's why I make these videos. And you can decide whether you want to move forward with me or with someone else. I really am not bothered if you don't move forward with me. That's fine. I have more work than I can cope with at the moment. Obviously I'm very prepared to help you out and look after you, especially if you're an existing client. But I won't be all butthurt and bitter and twisted if you don't go with me. If you don't go with me, I would recommend you follow my tips in the Buying Solar and Buying Batteries playlist on my channel, just so you get what you actually wanted and have a enjoyable experience buying a battery and or solar if you're going for a new system. So you can find those videos in the playlist tab at the bottom of the screen there on the home page, and just click on that and there's all different videos that relate to buying solar and batteries to help you so that you don't get ripped off and you get the end result that you desire. Right, cheers guys, bye.